we're going to move away from sketching quadratics briefly, although on Monday we'll go straight back to that. But I talked about these sort of missing value problems, didn't I? And I thought we'd have a little look at a couple of those. So here's a classic exam question where we're being asked to complete the square, but we haven't got a full question and we haven't got a full answer. We've got a couple of missing values, and the question will just say, find the value of A and the value of B. And I love these sorts of questions, I have to tell you, because there's detective work involved. So I'm going to talk you through how I would go about this, and then you're going to have a go at some for yourself. So the first thing I would say is, right, I remember that when I complete the square with a normal question, half of this number is what goes here. So straight away I know that A is -2, even though it says plus A is -2. So straight away I'm going to rewrite this, because I now know that A is -2. And I'm going to make a nice note of that, because the question is actually asking me for the values of A and B, so I'm going to make sure I'm clearly stating that. Now it's pretty straightforward, isn't it? Because I know that this would give me, if I gridded it out, x squared minus 2x plus 1. And that means that B has to be 1. If this side is going to equal this side, B has to equal 1. And we finished that first example. Let's have a go at a second one. A little bit more complicated here. We've got more than 1x squared, and we've got 3 missing values, A, B, and C. I'm hoping you can see that the first step, though, is nice and easy. If we've got a 2 out here in our final answer, it must have meant that we had a 2x squared to start with. So A is going to be 2. But I'm just going to pause at this point and get you to have a think about where I can go with this next. Although actually going alphabetically B would be next, I'm wondering if it might be easier to work out C next. Pause and have a go. Okay, can you see what I did here on the left-hand side? I sort of ignored the right-hand side and carried on doing the left-hand side like a basic completing the square question. So I shoveled the number, which in this case is a B, out to the right there, forgot about it, and I rewrote this as 2 lots of x squared plus 4x, and then I ignored that and just completed the square for x squared plus 4x, which gave me x plus 2 squared minus 4. And that means I know that C here has to be plus 2. So I'm very nearly there. All I now need to do is to work out the value of B. And to do that, I'm just going to look at the right-hand side, expand that, and see what number I get when I do that. Again, I'm going to pause the video at this point and get you to have a go, then we'll have a look at how I've done it. Okay, so I've done something very bad here. You should never cross your working out, but I want to make it clear that that was the working out I used to work out the value of C. I'm not going to use that anymore. I'm now just looking at the right-hand side. And to start with, on the right-hand side, I've gridded out x plus 2 squared. There we go, I've done it. So that gives me x squared plus 4x plus 4. I've got 2 lots of that, so that's going to give me 2 lots of this. So that's 2x squared plus 8x plus 8. I've also got the minus 6 there. So that gives me 2x squared plus 8x plus 2. So that shows me that B has to equal 2. So I did this one by sort of a bit of common sense to start with, a bit of work on the left-hand side, comparing it with the right-hand side, and then a bit of work on the right-hand side, comparing it with the left-hand side. And when I've worked out a value, I substituted that in, and that helps me build up my final answer. So I just got 3 here for you to try. This last one, they're not all whole numbers, I'll tell you that much. And I'm not going to post solutions for these. I'd like you to email me your attempt at these 3. The instructions, the first bit on the video, you might want to re-watch that because it's quite a fiddly process, this. But yeah, I look forward to getting your response to those 3 questions. Can I also give you something a little bit harder? I am going to post solutions to this, so this will be as a part of the stuff I post on Class Charts. Here are 3 other questions, and with these I just want you to complete the square. But you'll see that they're all not straightforward. The first one, we're going to have some decimal numbers in there because half of -7 is -3.5. And then you've got one with some surds in there, and then you've got ones with some missing values, k's, in there. And this is just a little bit of an extension for those that are feeling really confident with completing the square. I'd be interested to see how you get on with that. So you've got those 3 problems like the ones I've just shown you on the video. I'd like you to email me your go at an answer to those, and then 3 extension questions there, and you'll find the solutions to that are either attached to the email or posted on Class Charts. Take care.